as y'all can tell, just went to a World Cup game, but we have real news. So let's get into this one. I hope this is like working. I literally can't do anything better right now. My phone is actually on the verge of death. So, oh my god, the Shams tweet has so many likes. This is insane. Obviously, we're just gonna go to the Underdog NBA page, and we're gonna take a look at what we can see here. But obviously, there was the super cryptic post by Giannis earlier today. So we kind of knew that it was done. Shams said it would be done by tomorrow at 7. Um, then we get information that the Celtics are only looking at parting ways with Jaylen Brown if it lands them Giannis. So basically, willing to get rid of Jaylen Brown if it gets Giannis, but otherwise they want to keep him. Um, Next bit of information here is that they think that AJ DeBonsta is now the number one overall pick, which is insane. Um, Crazy how things just change. So the crazy thing is that Chris B. Haynes and, well, I don't know if we can still call this guy a senior insider. He's hearing that the Boston Celtics and the Heat are the favorites, and he has been wrong about this trade so many times. Um, I think it really goes to show that, Shams was put into a position where he had to shut up a little bit, but I think he kind of knew. And Crispy Haynes is just someone that I'm not really listening to anymore. But all of a sudden, we get this trade out of nowhere where the Nets get Julius Randle and the 28th pick. The Bulls get Nick Claxton, and the Wolves get the 33rd overall pick. So, this is honestly the most random thing I've ever seen, but this is crazy. They turned, I mean, they got Dante DiVincenzo, yes, who's a great player, but if you don't remember, Julius Randle was Carl Anthony Towns, now NBA champion, and the Nets get Julius Randle and they give up the 33rd overall pick. I saw this before I got to the game. I was like, holy, and my phone was dying, and I was like, what the hell? I hope Giannis doesn't get traded. Spoiler alert, he did. Um, and then they added Mohamedou Gueye in this deal. So, and then he was just waived by the Wolves the second that he gets added. But, um, yeah. And then we see that Ayu Sumo makes a whole lot of money here, where he makes $112 million in a 5-year deal that he signs with the Wolves. I think this is a great deal. I think he showed, obviously, the 40-point playoff game, but he's shown that he could really be, you know, something special here. Um, I don't think that there's a lot of comments talking about an overpay. To me, at this point in time, locking down a point guard that could be even 26, so maybe not that young, but you're locking him down through his entire peak. So, hey, that's going to be a insane deal looking back. Um, and then we get a leaked trade package, which is basically Jaylen Brown, 2 first-round picks for Giannis. And then we hear that the Giannis trade happens. And holy, we have been waiting like 3 years at this point, it feels, for Giannis to get traded. And here it is. Giannis and Bobby Portis from the Bucks go to the Heat. The Bucks are gonna get Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, who was a six man of the year candidate, by the way. I'm so sorry if I'm going to butcher his name. Gasparis Jacolonis, three first round picks, one pick swap, and a second round pick. And I know Giannis is Giannis, but Giannis was drafted in 2013. Like, Giannis is entering year 14. He's going to be out of his prime. He's not going to be healthy. At the end of the day, pairing Giannis with Bam Adebayo, numbers are going to happen. But my God, you get rid of so much depth and you sell your entire future. Three first round picks. I'm not going to call this a fleece because you have to give up Giannis, but the Bucks made out of this as good as possible. I don't think that Jaylen Brown fits their timeline either. If we look at Jaylen Brown, yeah, Jaylen Brown is a 29-year-old player who's been a little bit of a diva, who, at this point in time, I didn't think that we were going to get anything in relation to Jaylen Brown because he just doesn't make sense for this Bucks team that's no longer going to be competing without a Giannis. Um, I think it's super unfortunate for Giannis or for the Bucks, but they also just didn't give him the help that he needed after the championship run. But the potential starting lineup for the Heat is looking scary. Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. But the bench is going to be horrible. It's the East, so maybe they can compete, but and again, I'm not going to say too much because obviously the Knicks just won the championship, but you're going to have a Thunder team that's going to be better next season, a Spurs team that's going to be better next season, a Nuggets team which is probably going to be better next season. And that's just to name the top three. You're going to have a Luka LeBron team that's always going to be elite. Like, is this going to be a team that can compete for a championship? I don't know. Um, Julius Randle and Michael Porter Jr. are now on the same team, and the ball will have no movement in this one. But yeah, I'm personally not a big fan of the Heat here, and I just can't say fleece because Giannis is literally one of my favorite players. Oh, I forgot I can't do that. That 2021 run that they had is literally one of the most dominant runs I've seen since 2018 Braun, since the 2018 Warriors as well. Um, I think you need to make a few more trades to really like solidify it, especially if you look at like what the Knicks are doing. The Knicks are probably like gonna be there in the first, second seed. The Cavs are probably gonna be a decent regular season team again because they bought into winning now. The Celtics are always gonna be good. The everything. I'm seeing news about the mid-level exception being used on Braun. LeBron returning to Miami has never really been talked about, but yo, that could be interesting. Because then you have a real point guard too in Braun. Heat versus Spurs next year. Oh my god, that could be elite. This is gonna be a crazy one. I have no idea what's going on, but to be honest, we'll need to see what they do at point guard. I'm assuming that they're gonna draft one, but if not, we'll have to see what they choose to do. But yeah, so I just went to Jordan, Algeria, which ended up being a really good game. I'm super happy. Levi Stadium, the works. But I really wish I saw this trade live. I would have reacted harder than I did to any of the goals, to be honest. But yeah, there's big talks about the Thanasis not being on the trade package. I wonder what's gonna happen there. Is the Thanasis and is it Alex for the second brother just not gonna get moved? But I'm assuming they're gonna get moved. Anyway, I'm probably gonna have further reactions, but for now, if I'm gonna be honest, let's see how the Heat finish this season. NBA standings. Because I think the Heat were an 8 seed. Heat were a 10 seed. Okay, my fault. I think they, no, they didn't make it out of the play-in this year. They have generally been a play-in team. The Sixers, if Embiid is healthy, obviously, big if, they're better. The Magic, the East isn't looking so weak to me anymore. The Wizards have potential with the re-signed Trae Young. The Pacers, I mean, Hallie's back. That automatically makes you more of a contender. If Julius Randle turns into LeBron, that could be a something. The Bulls, yeah, I don't know about that one. The Bucks are definitely going to be like almost dead last in this one. The Heat, I mean Giannis. The Hornets will probably be good. The Magic will probably be good. The Sixers will probably be good. The Hawks will probably regress. The Raptors will probably be good. The Cavs, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Pistons. I don't know if we can say weak East anymore. This might be a stronger East. I mean, this is all sans injury, which I feel like the East has some of that. Um, my favorite from the East would be the Celtics still. I would say Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Pistons, Sixers, considering that Embiid is healthy, are all better teams. And ooh, let's take a look at the NBA draft real quick. So the Heat are picking at 13. So they didn't trade this pick away? Or is that not confirmed which picks have been traded? So I'm gonna assume that the Bucks got this pick. And if that's true, that makes it very difficult for them to do anything here. They're gonna have to look for a point guard in free agency. And we'll just look for the Heat salary. I don't know if it's gonna be updated to show Giannis yet. It's not. But they're gonna be hitting the second apron. Mid-level exception to get Braun, but other than that, not too much leverage. Wow. I guess we'll see what happens here. Terry Rozier will be officially off the books, which is nice. Yeah, to me, not too much of a needle mover. The superstars always go to the Heat. Who's a point guard who's been recently on the market? De'Aaron Fox? Do I think that would ever happen? No. Do I kind of want to see it? Yeah. I think De'Aaron Fox could play very well in this offense, but like I would be excited to watch De'Aaron Fox play with Giannis. But y'all let me know if you agree. I'm gonna go to bed and probably have a better video out tomorrow, but yeah. Wow. I can't believe this actually happened. I was half expecting this to fall through, but thank y'all for watching this scuffed ass video. See y'all.